Cleisthenes, known as the father of Athenian democracy, played a pivotal role in the development of democratic governance in ancient Athens during the 6th century BCE. His life and reforms laid the foundation for the democratic principles and practices that continue to influence political thought and systems to this day. Cleisthenes was born into the powerful Athenian family, a noble clan in Athens. His early life was marked by political turmoil, as Athens was under the rule of tyrants and oligarchies. Cleisthenes was exiled for a time but later returned to Athens, where he would make a lasting impact on the city's political landscape. In the early 6th century BCE, Cleisthenes implemented a series of far-reaching reforms that transformed the Athenian political system. His most significant contributions to the development of democracy include creation of demes. Cleisthenes divided the Athenian population into 10 new tribes, each consisting of various smaller communities known as demes. These demes were distributed throughout the Athenian territory and served as the basis for political organization. This reform aimed to reduce the power of traditional noble clans and encourage a more inclusive civic identity. Isonomia. Cleisthenes introduced the principle of isonomia, meaning equality before the law. This concept emphasized the equal treatment of citizens under the law, regardless of their social status. It was a fundamental element of Athenian democracy. Council of 500. He established the Bull, or Council of 500, which was a legislative body composed of 500 citizens, 50 from each tribe. The council was responsible for preparing and deliberating on legislation before it was presented to the assembly, ecclesia, for a vote. Members were selected by lot, ensuring a degree of randomness and fairness in the selection process. Ostracism. Cleisthenes introduced the practice of ostracism, which allowed citizens to vote to exile a prominent individual from the city for 10 years if they were deemed a threat to the democracy. This mechanism helped to prevent the rise of tyrants. Citizen participation. Under Cleisthenes' reforms, more citizens were eligible to participate in the democratic process, as membership in a deme became a central aspect of Athenian citizenship. This allowed a broader segment of the population to engage in political life. Cleisthenes' reforms not only laid the groundwork for Athenian democracy but also marked a significant departure from the traditional systems of governance. His emphasis on equality, civic participation, and the rule of law set the stage for the development of democratic principles that would later be celebrated and adopted by democracies around the world. It's worth noting that the democracy of Cleisthenes' time was not without its limitations. It excluded women, slaves, and non-citizens from participation. Nonetheless, his reforms were a monumental step toward the concept of democracy as we understand it today. Cleisthenes' contributions to the development of democracy in Athens are celebrated as a milestone in the history of political thought and continue to influence the foundations of democratic societies worldwide. His legacy as the father of Athenian democracy endures as a testament to the enduring importance of inclusive, citizen-driven governance. Certainly, let's explore Cleisthenes' impact on Athenian democracy and his enduring legacy in more detail. Conflict and oligarchy. Prior to Cleisthenes' reforms, Athens had experienced decades of political instability, with various factions vying for control. Rivalry between noble families and the rise and fall of tyrants had left the city in a state of turmoil. Cleisthenes' return from exile provided an opportunity for political renewal. Demi-structure. Cleisthenes' division of the Athenian population into demes was a revolutionary idea. It allowed for a more decentralized and participatory form of governance. Citizens would identify with their demes, and local government and administration were often managed at this level. The demi became a fundamental unit of Athenian society. Random selection, the selection of council members by lot, was a crucial aspect of Cleisthenes' reforms. This ensured that a broad cross-section of the population had the opportunity to participate in government. It also helped to prevent the concentration of power in the hands of a few elites. Equal rights under the law, the principle of isonomia, championed by Cleisthenes, was a fundamental shift in Athenian politics. It meant that citizens were equal before the law, regardless of their social or economic status. This concept laid the foundation for the idea of equal protection and rights for all citizens. Role of the assembly, the Athenian assembly, known as the ecclesia, was a central institution in the democratic system. Citizens would gather to debate and vote on important issues, ranging from laws and decrees to matters of war and peace. Cleisthenes' reforms empowered the assembly to make key decisions, reinforcing the concept of direct citizen participation. Ostracism. The introduction of ostracism was a safeguard against tyranny. It allowed citizens to collectively decide whether a prominent individual posed a threat to the democracy and, if so, exile them for a specified period. This mechanism helped maintain stability and prevent the concentration of power. Enduring influence, Cleisthenes' contributions to the development of democracy in Athens had a profound and lasting impact. His ideas and reforms became an essential part of the democratic tradition, influencing the thinking of later political philosophers and statesmen. Modern democracy, the principles of Cleisthenes' democracy, such as the rule of law, citizen participation, and equal rights, have informed the development of modern democratic systems. His legacy continues to shape the ideals and institutions of democratic societies worldwide. Celebrated figure, Cleisthenes is celebrated in history as a visionary reformer who fundamentally reshaped the political landscape of Athens and left a legacy that resonates through the ages. He is remembered as a key figure in the story of democracy's evolution, from its early origins in ancient Athens to its global significance today. Cleisthenes' democratic innovations, which promoted civic engagement and the principle of equality, remain relevant and inspiring, serving as a reminder of the enduring ideals of democratic governance and the potential for positive change in political systems.